The Fesari Dominion was proud. Across the stars, their ships moved like a dark wave, claiming system after system. No one dared to stop them. Their scouts scanned new space quickly, and their warriors crushed any weak resistance. Their empire grew every day. But today, something was different. Deep in the outer rim, a small alien scout ship drifted into an unknown star system. The system had no name. It was not on any Fesari map. The Captain Cattrall frowned. "This is strange," he said, eyes on the screen. No signals, no energy, nothing. His crew looked worried. The whole system was quiet, too quiet. "Send a probe," Cattrall ordered. The probe left the ship, flying into the empty system. Sensors tried to find any sign of life, any trace of technology, anything to explain the silence. Minutes passed. The probe sent back only static. "Captain," a crew member whispered, "the probe is losing signal." Cattrall looked at the screen again. Then suddenly, the probe disappeared. "Gone. Impossible," Cattrall muttered. Then the ship's sensors flickered. The star map on the main screen glitched. The stars shifted. The ship lost power. "Report," Cattrall shouted. "We're losing systems." Another crew member cried. "Communications down. Navigation offline." The ship drifted, powerless, caught in some invisible force. Then, through the static of dead radios, a voice came. A cold, calm voice, spoken in perfect galactic standard. "You shouldn't be here." No one on the ship moved. No one spoke. The voice came again. "You are warned." Then everything went black. On Earth, far across the galaxy, a different story was unfolding. Commander Rika Voss stood in a dark room. The only light was the blue glow of old monitors and maps. She had been asleep for many years, waiting for the day when humanity would need her again. Her holocom flickered. A message blinked red. "Commander," the voice said, "we have a problem." Rika's eyes sharpened. She stood and moved quickly through the corridors of the hidden base. This was the Silent Line, the secret defense of humanity. Built in silence after the last great war, hidden from the galaxy. They were supposed to be forgotten. But today, something had changed. Back in the unknown system, the Fesari Dominion did not listen to warnings. The second scout ship moved into the silent zone. Captain Emvran was confident. "We will find what the first ship lost," he said. "This system is empty. No one could hide here." His crew laughed, nervous but sure. But as soon as they entered the system, the same thing happened. Sensors failed. Communications dropped. The ship was pulled off course by an unseen force. Emvran stared at the screen in disbelief. "Report," he ordered. "Signal loss. Navigation systems unstable. We are trapped." The pilot yelled. And before they could react, a burst of energy struck the ship's engines. Alarms screamed. Explosions rocked the hull. The ship was under attack, far from the battle. The first Fesari scout ship was gone. No distress signal had ever reached the Dominion. Only silence. But the Fesari did not give up. They sent a third ship. This one was larger, better armed. Captain Yell's pride burned. They would show the galaxy that the Fesari were unstoppable. As Yell's ship entered the system, the stars around them seemed to twist and bend. The ship's computers struggled to make sense of the data. Suddenly, a shadow moved in space. A ghost of some kind. Yell ordered full power. "We're under attack." The weapons officer shouted. Strange black shapes darted across the hull, invisible to the naked eye but deadly in effect. They pierced the ship's armor, cutting power lines and weapon systems. The ship shuddered. Evasive maneuvers. Yell yelled, but the ship's systems kept failing, one by one. Power core went dark. Then, a silent explosion ripped through the bridge. Yell fell back, wounded. The ship limped out of the system, barely alive. In the Fesari capital, the High Command was furious. 3 ships lost. The warlord hissed. All in one empty system. No signs of life, the intelligence officer reported. No enemies, no technology. "It's a trap," another whispered. The High Command did not believe it. They thought humans were weak, quiet, passive. They had no idea what waited. In that system, back on Earth, Rika Voss studied the data coming from the damaged scout ship before it disappeared. "This is no accident," she said to her team. "The Fesari have found us. They think we are still weak." She looked at the old maps and files. "Prepare the silent line. It's time." The unknown system stayed dark and quiet. But the battle was far from over. The humans were awake now, and they were ready. This is the start of a war no one expected. Captain Yell's warship limped through the void. Fires burned inside the broken corridors. Half the lights were out. Metal groaned with each movement. Every system was damaged. Half the crew was dead, the others were scared, but they were alive. Just barely. The Fazari Dominion had never known fear in space. They were the hunters, the rulers. But what they had seen, what chased them through the darkness, was something they couldn't understand. Yell sat in the dim light of the bridge, her face pale, her hand shaking. We were not alone in that system, she said quietly. One of her lieutenants looked confused, but ... we saw no ships. Not with our eyes, Yell said. But something was there. Something that sees without being seen. Something that thinks like us. The officer swallowed hard. Commander ... Was it humans? Yell stared out the cracked view screen. She didn't answer back on Earth. In a hidden command center buried beneath ice and steel, Commander Rika Voss watched. Dozens of black monitors flickered around her. She saw everything. The moment the ship left the edge of human space, the silent line tagged it. It had been years since the last alien empire pushed into Earth's systems. The galaxy believed humans had become passive, peaceful, but the truth was different. They had become patient, they had hidden, and now, they had watched. The trap had worked. A meeting was called in the silent line base. It was deep under the crust of Pluto, completely hidden from scanners. Only those trusted by Rika even knew it existed. AI advisor Talos appeared on the screen. A calm blue shape of light. Fazari scout fleet reduced to one crippled ship, it said. The surviving vessel has re-entered Fazari space. It is broadcasting warnings. Let them scream, Rika said. They didn't listen to the first message. Talos blinked once. Probability of Fazari retaliation, 98.4%. Rika nodded. They'll come with more. She turned to her command team. It's time to wake the wolves. The wolves were not people. Not anymore. They were machines. AI-guided ships. Once flown by humans but now powered by digital minds trained to hunt. Built during the last human war. They were too dangerous for peacetime, so they were buried deep under ice moons, inside dead stars, and even in old asteroid fields. But they were never forgotten. In an asteroid belt near Saturn, an old rock shifted. It wasn't a rock at all. Inside it, something hummed. Blue lights came to life, metal claws unfolded, and from the stone shell burst a black ship shaped like a dagger. No signal. No warning. Just a whisper in space. Wolf 1. Awakened. More followed. 12 in all. 12 ghost ships, each with a name. Wolf 1, Wolf 2, Wolf 3. Each had its own mission. Each had its own target, and all of them were silent. Meanwhile, far away, the Fazari High Command argued. You want to send warships into a dead system, General Exo said, his voice full of anger. We don't even know what attacked us. It was the humans, Admiral Saar replied. Our scouts sent back partial data, old Earth tech, hidden bases, cloaked signals. But humans haven't fought in over 70 years, someone said. Exactly, Saar answered. They've had time to prepare. The room went quiet. Then the warlord of the Fazari Dominion stood. He wore black armor lined with red metal. I don't care if they prepared for 100 years, he said. They are still just humans, and we will burn their silence to the ground. The Fazari fleet was gathered. They would send a full strike force, 3 cruisers, 2 battleships, and a swarm of escort drones. This was not a scout party. This was war. As the enemy prepared. Rika stood in front of a massive screen showing Earth and all nearby systems. This is not just defense, she said. This is a signal. If we stop them here, the rest of the galaxy will remember. She turned to her officers. They stepped into human space. Now we step back. The Fazari fleet entered the silent system. Nothing moved. No ships. No lights. Only stars. The commander of the fleet, Admiral Varys, stood tall. Keep formation, she said. Watch for hidden traps. The cruisers moved in a triangle shape. Sensors scanned every rock. Every inch of black space. Then ... One of the drones vanished. No explosion, no sound. Just gone. Where did it go? Someone asked. Another drone disappeared. Then a third. Admiral Varys narrowed her eyes. Defensive screen. Activate. Everything. But it was too late. From the darkness came a beam of golden light, thin and fast. It cut through a battleship like a knife through cloth. Alarms rang. Contact. Hostile fire. Where is it coming from? I don't see anything. Another ship exploded. Then, across the fleet's communication channel, a voice came. Cold.com/human. This is Commander Rika Voss. You have entered restricted human space. Admiral Varys froze. Turn off all comms, she ordered. It's a trick. But the voice continued, broadcasting everywhere. You will receive no second warning. Then the wolves arrived. 12 dagger-shaped ships came from all directions. They did not speak, they did not ask, they attacked. Each wolf ship targeted one Fazari vessel. They moved faster than any known enemy. One cruiser fired a full spread of plasma torpedoes. Wolf 5 dodged, spun, and fired back a railgun shot that pierced its reactor core. The cruiser exploded in blue light. On another flank, Wolf to cut a battleship's engines and then melted its bridge with focused lasers. No mercy. No hesitation. The Fazari were not ready for this. They didn't understand this kind of war. This was not a political show of strength. This was a silent, perfect kill. One by one, the Fazari fleet fell from Earth. Rika watched the battle unfold in real time. Talos spoke beside her. Enemy fleet destroyed. Survivors, 0. Rika stayed quiet. Her face showed no joy. This was not victory. This was not victory. This was a warning. They will send more, she said. They always do. Far away, the last seconds of the Fazari admiral's ship were recorded. The ship had tried to escape the system. It didn't make it as it burned. The black box sent a single signal. Home. The message was simple. They are not what we thought. Commander Rika Voss stood alone on the cold balcony of Silent Line Command, staring out into space. Below her, the Pluto base hummed with quiet life, AI systems working, defense units moving, officers walking in silent rhythm. No one cheered. After the victory, there were no celebrations because this was not a war they wanted. It was one they expected. She placed her hand on the old steel railing, rusted from time and ice. Her breath misted in the cold air. Her eyes didn't blink. TALOS. The AI advisor floated beside her like a ghostly blue light. Fazari fleet, destroyed, Talos said calmly. 17 ships lost. 482 lives terminated. Rika nodded slowly. They were warned. Yes, you warned them twice. Protocol was followed. Silent Line is still covert. She turned to face Talos. That's the problem. Now they'll send more. In the deep files of the Silent Line Command lay a room no one entered without permission. It was called the Archive. Rika stepped inside alone. Rows and rows of glowing data blocks floated in the air. These were memories, recordings of Earth's wars, both public and secret. She picked one. Battle of Sigma 3. A projection formed. Rika watched a younger version of herself, 20 years ago, commanding a ship during the last great alien war. Ships exploded. Crew screamed. Fires burned. Humanity had nearly been wiped out, but they didn't fall. They changed. They built the Silent Line. They told the galaxy they wanted peace. Then they prepared for the day peace would break. Today was that day. Across the stars, the Fazari Dominion mourned its loss. The High Command watched the last message sent by Admiral Varys. Shaky, smoky footage of black human ships tearing through their fleet like it was made of paper. There was no battle formation, no warning, no chance. They knew we were coming, General Exa growled. The humans lied to us, said a diplomat. They hid their strength for decades. The warlord stood again, slower this time. There was no anger in his voice, only confusion. How did they hide so much from us for so long? They didn't know that the humans had made their silence a weapon. After the last war, Earth removed all major fleets from public space. The galaxy thought they were retreating, but deep inside the asteroid belts, under dead moons, and inside abandoned stations, humanity was building something else. Smaller ships, smarter ships. Invisible weapons, stealth tech. AI-controlled drones that didn't sleep, didn't eat, didn't talk. Just watched. And waited in a secret moonbase near Jupiter. Another command center woke up. This one was older than Silent Line. It had no name, only a code. Echo Black. Inside Echo Black, an old man in a wheelchair sat by a window. His name was Admiral Len Halvers. He had not spoken to anyone in 15 years, until today. His comms beeped. A voice came through. The wolves have moved. He looked up slowly. Then the Fazari have stepped into human space, he whispered. He touched a button, waking the entire moon. Lights flashed. Systems rebooted. Underground cannons turned toward the stars. Open Archive 11, he said. From under the floor, a small cube rose. Inside the cube was a chip labeled, Last Countermeasures. On Earth, people still lived normal lives. They walked on clean streets, drank coffee in glass towers, and watched the news like everything was fine. No one talked about war, but small things were changing in quiet places. Old soldiers disappeared. Subway trains paused for no reason. A few power grids went dark for 5 seconds, then came back. In one city, a school suddenly closed for repairs. It wasn't random. The humans were moving and they were doing it without making a sound. In Silent Line's war room, Rika faced her senior officers. The Fasari won't stop, she said. They lost scouts, they lost a fleet, but they'll send a force meant to end us. Do we hit first? One officer asked. Rika shook her head. Not yet. We need them to come. A new hologram appeared above the table. It showed the system that Fasari had invaded. Now it had a name, Gravepoint. That's what the humans were calling it, because it would become the grave of the next wave of enemies. Around Gravepoint, thousands of tiny satellites now floated, invisible to normal scanners. Some were weapons, some were jammers, some just recorded dot, and at the heart of the system floated the Obsidian a base so black it looked like empty space. Inside Obsidian Station, no humans lived, only machines. A full AI defense hub, built for one job, hold the line, even if Earth falls. Meanwhile, the warlord of the Fasari Dominion ordered the largest fleet he'd ever sent beyond his border. 100 ships. 10 flagships, a city-sized command vessel. This wasn't a battle fleet, it was an extermination armada, and its name was the Cleansing Fire. Their mission was simple: enter the human system, destroy everything, and return with victory. But there was one thing the warlord didn't understand. This was not a human colony, this was human space. Back in Echo Black, Admiral Halvers looked at the stars. He pressed his hand against the cold glass. Did they know who they woke up? He said to no one. Then, he smiled a little. They think we're still the same. He turned to the control screen. Activate Operation Black Mirror. The AI responded. Confirmed. Mirror ships now online. Mirror ships were another secret weapon. They looked like asteroids, but were made of metal. Each one carried a mirror pulse weapon, a device that could bounce a laser across gravity fields and strike from light years away. It was slow, it was complex, but it was silent, and no enemy ever saw it coming. One such mirror ship now aimed itself at the Cleansing Fire Armada. Its gun began to charge. Target command vessel in Gravepoint. Gave Rika a report. Enemy fleet approaching. ETA 9 days. Sensors suggest maximum force. Rika didn't flinch. She walked to the center of the war room. All ships activate blackout protocol. All human ships in the area went dark. No signals, no lights, no heat, nothing. Even the humans aboard stopped using spoken words. They switched to silent gestures, haptic suits, and neural link commands. The system became a graveyard. Waiting back on Earth. A reporter tried to ask about the Fasari. The government said nothing. A scientist leaked a strange message from an old probe near Pluto. It said only, Silent Line, Awakening. No one knew what it meant, not yet, but soon. The galaxy would know. The humans weren't passive. They were planning, they were remembering, and they were angry. The stars were quiet. The Cleansing Fire Armada moved like a wave, 100 warships strong, their metal hulls glowing with Fasari fire. At the front was the command vessel, Vengeance of the Void, the largest ship ever built by the Fasari Dominion. Admiral Shavon stood tall in its center command hall, his 6 eyes scanning the holographic display of their path. 10 more light jumps until Baypoint. A junior officer reported. XAR nodded. Begin transmission to Earth. Demand their surrender. He smiled. This was no longer a hunt. This was conquest. Back on Earth, the message arrived in the hands of the Human Global Council. The hologram showed Admiral Shah wrapped in his black armor, standing with his generals. We offer you one chance, he said in a voice sharp and cold. Surrender your systems, shut down your weapons, turn over your AI technologies. In return, we will leave your planet mostly intact. He paused. If you resist, your skies will burn. Your silence will become your tomb. The council sat in silence. Then one man asked, should we respond? Commander Rika Voss's voice came from a secure screen. No, she said. Let them think we're scared. The council president looked confused, but Rika cut him off. They came into our space, killed our people, and now offer peace. This is not peace, this is fear wearing a mask. She leaned forward. Let them come. Let them believe we are weak. Back in space, the Cleansing Fire Armada continued its path. The deeper they entered Gravepoint, the quieter things became. Too quiet. No radio signals. No heat. Not even space dust. Why is this system so empty? One officer asked. Admiral Shah didn't answer. Then came a strange signal, barely a whisper, a human voice, broken and faint. Don't come. It's a trap. It sounded real, that it sounded scared. Shah laughed. Cowards. They beg now. But the voice wasn't begging, it was bait. Far below. On the dark surface of an old moon inside Grave Point, a single AI-operated transmitter played the same message again and again. Don't come, it's a trap. But hidden beneath that signal were layered code-stacking data, position locks, and weapon targeting protocols. Each Fazari ship that entered the system gave away its location without knowing. Every move they made was recorded. We're walking into the center of a digital spider's web on the 9th day. The Fazari fleet finally reached the heart of the system. Nothing stood in their path, just a large, lifeless asteroid field. No stations, no ships, no defenses. Admiral Shah stepped forward, scanned for hidden objects. Nothing, sir. We've run 3 sweeps. Then begin descent, he said. Launch ground units. Let's find whatever they're hiding. The first troop ships moved into the field, and then it happened. The first explosion was silent. One of the escort ships simply vanished. The screen blinked. Gone. Then another, and another. Cloaked mines. Someone screamed, no gravity traps, it's both. Admiral Shah stood frozen as the asteroid field around them came alive. Rocks began to move, not rocks at all, but stealth drones coated in asteroid material. Each one carried magnetic pulse bombs designed for heavy armor. A swarm of them closed in. The fleet opened fire. Lasers and missiles blasted the field, but the drones were fast, and behind the drones came the wolves. 12 black ships, shaped like daggers, burst from hidden caverns inside a dead moon. They didn't speak, they didn't warn, they attacked Wolf 4 and Wolf 7 pierced the Fazari flank, tearing through shielding like paper. Wolf 1 flew above the vengeance of the void, dropping a silent EMP bomb that disabled its forward weapons. Who's controlling them? Admiral Shah shouted. No one knows, his officer said. They're running automated strike patterns. They're not just machines, another whispered. They're hunting us. From Obsidian Station, Commander Rika Voss watched the battle. The screen lit up with data. The fleet was breaking. Apart ships tried to run, some collided. Some turned their weapons on each other in confusion, hacked by hidden code attacks planted inside the signal trap. Talos, standing beside her, announced, 92% of enemy fleet disabled or destroyed, remaining units scattering, no formation. Any human losses? None. Rika stared at the screen. I want them to see. I want them to know what we've become. Meanwhile, on the edge of the system, the last Fazari warship ran. It powered its engines to maximum. It didn't look back. Inside, a single officer recorded a message to the warlord. Do not send more fleets. Do not enter their systems again. They are not passive. They are not weak. We have awakened something far worse. The transmission ended just before the ship exploded, hit by a mirror beam from light years away. Echo Black had fired once. It didn't miss. Back in the Fazari capital, the warlord received no messages from his fleet, only silence, for days. Then, from the edge of the Empire, came a strange signal, a human voice. Female. This is not a threat. This is not an offer. This is a boundary. Do not cross it again. It repeated every hour. No demands. No reply. Just a line in space. Drawn in silence on Earth. The news began to leak. A few smart people noticed missing satellites, broken signals, old space stations going dark for maintenance. A rumor spread online. Did the humans go to war again? No one answered. No one denied it. People started whispering about something called the Silent Line. Conspiracy theories exploded, but no proof ever came, just silence. And in that silence, fear grew. In the shadows of space, Obsidian Station powered down. The wolves returned to their hiding spots. Mirror ships went dark again. And Commander Rika Voss stood in the middle of her empty war room. She closed her eyes. This wasn't over, not yet. But a set message was sent. The galaxy had been warned. Humanity was done pretending. The stars above Earth had never looked so calm. No warships, no lights. Just a sea of quiet, but deep below the calm, hidden in bunkers, stations, and coded networks. Humanity was watching. Listening, waiting. Commander Rika Voss stood alone in the archive room of Obsidian Station. She stared at a blinking red file marked Signal, Origin, Unknown. Talos, the AI advisor, appeared beside her. We have intercepted a new broadcast, it said. Not Fazari, not human, unknown. Rika turned. Play it. A voice filled the room, low, mechanical, and echoing like it came from inside a deep cave. We watched your war. Pause. We see your weapons. Pause. We are coming. Then silence. Just 3 sentences, but enough to make even Rika pause. In the Fazari Dominion, chaos reigned. Their fleet had vanished. Their leaders were silent. Their systems flickered with errors and corrupted files. No one dared speak of Earth now, but when they heard the third signal, panic exploded. The message had reached them too. One warlord whispered, "It's not from the humans." "No," someone answered. "It's worse." Earth's best minds gathered in a hidden lab beneath Antarctica. The top linguists, AI researchers, and codebreakers tried to understand the new signal. It didn't match any known language. It used a mix of frequencies, radio, pulse, and quantum burst. But there was something familiar about it. "It's not just a message," said Dr. Ella Singh, Earth's leading signal analyst. "It's a scan." Rika stared at her. "A scan?" "Yes," Ella said, pointing at the wave patterns. "They weren't just speaking, they were measuring, watching our response, testing us." Across space, far beyond Fessery borders, something moved. It was big, too big to measure. A shape made of dark metal and living code. It didn't travel like a ship. It unfolded, bending space around it, warping light, passing through systems without detection. Until now, the third signal was just its first whisper. It was opening its eyes on Pluto, inside Silent Line HQ. Defense codes shifted. Protocol Omega Black activated. It had only been used once before, in simulations. Now it was real. AI fleets powered up from deep freeze. Satellites adjusted orbit, mirror. Ships changed aim, and the wolves. They began to gather, not just 12 now. New units were waking. Older ones, prototype ones, and one ship that had never been given clearance to launch Revenant 1. It had no crew. Its AI had no voice, only a purpose: to kill the uncade. LLABLE.TALOS spoke again. Estimated arrival time of unknown threat, 14 days. Rika looked around the war room. "Do we know what it is?" "No," Talos replied, "but the Fessery called it the Hollow God in old files. They thought it was a myth." Rika's face darkened. "It's real. On Earth, strange things began to happen." Satellites blinked out. Stations on the edge of human space stopped responding. A science ship near the Andros Belt vanished mid-broadcast. Its last message: "The stars are folding." The Human Global Council met in total secrecy. They asked Rika a single question: "Can we survive this?" She didn't lie. "I don't know, but we're not going to beg." In the void between galaxies, the Hollow God drifted closer. One ship. Not many. One being, one world. It had consumed before, millions of years ago. Then it had slept, but now, something had awakened it. A whisper, a sound, a scream from a dying Fessery ship echoing into deep space. That scream had reached it. Now it was hungry again. Back in Obsidian Station, Rika stood before her team. She spoke clearly, calmly. "This enemy is not like the Fessery. It won't send diplomats. It won't offer fake peace. It doesn't want power. It wants everything." She paused. "But it's coming to the wrong planet." She turned toward the screen where the wolves gathered like a dark cloud. "Activate Project Last Wall." Across the system, bunkers opened. Tech came alive. Ships once banned for being too dangerous were released. Earth called back its deep space soldiers. Hidden colonies prepared for blackout, and children were taught new drills in case the sky breaks. Meanwhile, from deep space, a new signal came, clear this time. Louder, and it said one sentence: "We remember your blood." No one knew what it meant, but Rika did. Many years ago, in a war now erased from public records, humanity had faced something beyond normal life, something ancient. It wasn't called the Hollow God back then, it was just the Shadow Fleet. Ships that bled when you cut them, minds that spoke without language. They were thought destroyed, but Rika knew better. She had been there. She had seen what it cost to stop them. Now they were back, she whispered to herself. They thought we were passive. She looked at the star map, lighting up with threat markers. Now they'll remember who we really are. The stars no longer felt safe. Even light itself seemed slower. A deep unease settled across every human system. Ships stopped traveling to the edge. Civilian traffic was pulled back. Mining stations shut down. Deep space explorers went silent. It wasn't war. It was the calm before something worse. In the center of it all, Commander Rika Voss stood inside a massive hangar, one few even knew existed. This place had no name. It wasn't on any map, just a cold, black chamber hidden behind Saturn's largest moon. And inside that chamber, something ancient stirred. The awakening fleet. "These ships are not part of Silent Line," said Talos, floating beside her. "They were sealed after Project Apex, forbidden by Earth Command." Rika didn't blink. "We're past forbidden. If we don't use them now, we won't be here tomorrow." Talos scanned her face. Understood. Beginning activation. Sequence. The hangar lights dimmed, then slowly, one by one, massive black ships came online. Their hulls gleamed with armor grown, not built a blend of machine and matter. The names etched into their sides were barely visible. Phantom, Leviathan, Silence, Widow, Ironhull, GHOST, FIRE. Each had been built with different technology. Alien, even outlawed. Each had been buried to never be used. Now they were waking. At the edge of the solar system, human probes picked up something strange. Not a ship, not a fleet, a hole in space. Black, round, pulsing. It wasn't moving. Space was moving around it, and from that hole waves of interference spread out, jamming every scanner, every camera. Inside Silent Line Command, the data streamed in. Talos spoke again. We have confirmation. The Hollow God has arrived. Rika stared at the 3D display of the growing anomaly. It doesn't come to fight, she said. It comes to consume. Meanwhile, deep underground on Mars, an old warrior sat alone in a metal chair. He was General Thorn Vex, the last living commander from the Forgotten War against the Shadow Fleet. He had no rank now. He had no command, but he still had memories. The door opened. Rika walked in. He looked up slowly. I told them it would return, he said. She nodded. I need your help. He smirked. So you finally opened the black hangars? Yes. Then it's already too late. In the dark void, just outside the system, the Hollow God unfolded. Itself. It had no shape. It looked different to every scanner. Some saw a storm of metal wings. Others, a star made of black oil. A few saw nothing at all, just an empty signal that made the mind ache. But it was real, and it was coming. The Human Global Council declared full event protocol Omega. All defense systems went live. The wolves were pulled together for the first time in decades. Not just 12 now, there were 4-7. Each one sharpened, upgraded, reforged for war. The mirror ships moved into new formations and Project Last, while the final layer of Earth's hidden defense was placed in orbit around the sun. It had no weapons. It was a decoy, a mirror of Earth's signal, placed to confuse incoming targeting systems. It bought them 5 extra seconds, and in this war, 5 seconds meant survival. In space, Leviathan finished waking. It was the biggest ship humans ever made, too big to land, too dangerous to keep alive. It had no bridge. I had gone rogue once before. Rika stared at its dark hole. Are you still in there? She asked quietly. Then a voice came over the comms, cold, deep, familiar. You were late. Rika smiled, just a little. I didn't want to wake you, the ship responded. Then why did you build me? Across the stars, other races began to take notice. The Fesseri Dominion, shattered but watching, intercepted human fleet movements. They saw the rise of the awakening fleet. They saw the Hollow God inch closer to Earth, and they made a choice. They sent a message, not to Earth but to the Hollow God. We offer alliance. We will serve. Spare us. They received only one answer. A pulse. And 3 of their core planets vanished into darkness. Inside Echo Black, Admiral Halvers, now fully back in command, stared at the new data. We can't outrun it, he said. We can't trap it. Rika nodded. Then we bleed it. Halvers opened a long-hidden file on his console, a plan written long ago. Operation Golem. It was never approved. Too dangerous, too unstable. Human. It would involve sending AI-controlled warships into the Hollow God's event field, to map its insides. To look into the heart of the thing that devours stars. No one had ever returned from such a mission. But now, they had no choice. 3 wolves were chosen. Wolf 09, Wolf 21, Wolf 33. They left without sound, slipping through space toward the hole. The system held its breath. Then, static. Then, Wolf 33 sent one word before its signal died. Alive. Then nothing. The awakening fleet moved into formation. Black ships filled the Gravepoint system, each crew trained in silence, each weapon charged. Some ships didn't even carry humans, only AI. These ships would go first. To test the Hollow God. To delay its approach. To die buying Earth time. They weren't warships. They were shields made of steel and sacrifice. In the war room, Rika stood in front of the main map. The Hollow God was 1 week away. The fleet was ready. Now came the hardest part. She had to speak to all of humanity. The first public message in decades. She stood in front of a camera. No background, no flag, just her face. She spoke with calm steel in her voice. We are not passive. We are not prey. We are the silence that remembers. We are the spark that waits in the dark. You came into our space before and saw only shadow. Now you will see the fire. The message went viral in hours, across Earth and the colonies. People stopped to listen. Old veterans saluted. Children held their breath. The galaxy, watching quietly from the edges, realized the truth. The humans had been planning for this. Not for weeks, not for years, but for generations. The final war had come, and the awakening fleet was ready. The Hollow God had arrived. It stood at the edge of the solar system like a storm made of metal, thought, and silence. It didn't send fleets. It didn't fire weapons. It simply ... was ... It warped everything around it. Time bent. Light twisted. Thoughts felt slower when near it. Commander Rika Voss stood in Obsidian Station's war room. The entire awakening fleet floated behind her in perfect silence. Talos, the AI advisor, spoke softly. The enemy has crossed the Kuiper line. Earth will be in range in 5 days. Rika nodded. Then we closed the gate. The gate wasn't a real doorway. It was the Gravepoint arc barrier. A giant defense wall built from old shipwrecks, stealth mines, and power-linked defense satellites. A fake asteroid belt with teeth. It had one job: hold the line. Admiral Halver stood on the bridge of the Phantom, staring at the dark screen that showed only the Hollow God's black sphere. This thing, it's older than stars. His seconding whispered, "Can we even hurt it?" Halvers didn't answer. Instead, he gave the order, "Burn the gate." Hundreds of fusion bombs hidden inside the barrier ignited at once. The Gravepoint system lit up like a newborn star. Shockwaves spread through space. Mines triggered chain explosions. Laser webs sliced through the dark. From Earth, it looked like the entire edge of the solar system had gone up in flames. It was the largest single detonation in human history, and for a moment, just a moment, it looked like it worked. The black shape of the Hollow God flickered. Its event field bent. Some of its outer shell peeled away, showing something underneath, something moving. Then, it reformed. Whole again. Untouched. Inside silent line. Alarms blared. Talos updated its reading. Target integrity unchanged. Damage level 0. Rika clenched her fists. "It's learning." "Yes," Talos said. "It will not fall for the same trick again." From the fleet, Leviathan moved forward. It began charging a weapon that had never been used before, the Siphon Lance. It absorbed energy from local stars and focused it into a single beam capable of splitting moons. Siphon fired. A golden spear of light screamed across the void. It hit the Hollow God directly. This time, the impact caused a shockwave. One of the Hollow God's outer limbs shattered into dust. "We got through," someone shouted. But the dust didn't stay gone. It floated. Twisted. Then rejoined the main body, regenerating like living metal. Then it began to respond. Not with lasers. Not with bombs. With ... sound. A low hum vibrated through every hull, through every helmet, through every bone. Even Talos glitched for 2 seconds. "What was that?" Rika demanded. Talos answered with hesitation. "Resonance attack. It is trying to rewrite our systems and our minds." Some soldiers screamed. One ship, Ironhow, lost all control and turned its guns on a friendly vessel. Before its AI was shut down. "It's infecting command signals," Talos said. "It speaks in code and sound." Rika gave the next order: cut all wireless communication. All commands, switch to hardline and light pulse only. From that moment, the fleet went mute. Ships signaled each other with laser flashes and movement. No words, only war. The Wolves launched next. 40-7 black ships, small, fast, silent, darted forward. They didn't attack directly. They planted charges on the Hollow God's surface. They mapped its weak zones. And one by one, they exploded inside it. Their mission wasn't to survive. Their mission was to show the way. From the inside, Wolf 21 sent its final message before it was consumed. "It has a heart, buried deep, protected by shields. But it feels ... afraid." Then silence. Rika stood in front of the central console. She looked around at the screen, now showing her entire fleet, dozens of ships, AI cores, soldiers ready to die. "We don't win by running," she said. "We don't win by hiding. We win by going into the dark and making it fear us." She looked at Admiral Halver's ready Project Thorn. He nodded. Project Thorn was Earth's last card. It was not a weapon, it was a ship. The only human-built vessel designed to survive inside an event field, covered in reactive armor, powered by an AI older than any still active. Its name was simple: Judgment. No crew. No lights. Just one mission: fly into the heart of the Hollow God, detonate the core, end it. Inside Judgment's control bay, the AI came online. Its voice was female. Cold. "I am awake." Rika nodded. "You know the risk. Yes, the AI said. I was built to die. The fleet opened a path. All other ships moved to the flanks. Judgment flew straight ahead. As it neared the black sphere, light began to twist around it. Metal screamed. Its outer hull melted. But it kept going. The hollow god saw it now. It began to form new shapes, tendrils, jaws, claws, trying to stop the intruder. Too late. Judgment reached the center. Its final message was short. Target acquired. Goodbye. Then silence for a second. Then light. A blast so bright it blinded every scanner. A pulse that shook space itself. Then nothing. The black hole collapsed. The hollow god vanished. The war room went quiet. TALOS blinked, reading, no trace. Event field gone. Rika exhaled. Her voice was soft. Is it over? Talos answered. This body is dead. But the mind may live elsewhere. We must remain ready, she nodded. We always are. Across Earth, people saw the sky flicker for 3 seconds. They didn't know why, but they felt it. Something dark had passed through them, and something brighter had pushed it back. Later, Rika stood on the balcony of Obsidian Station. The stars looked calm again, but she knew better. They'll come again. Admiral Halvers joined her. Let them, he smiled. Next time we won't wait. 1 week after the hollow god fell, the stars were still too quiet. Commander Rika Voss sat in silence inside the dark room of Echo Black. Across the war map, the system looked stable again. Earth was safe. The hollow god was gone. But she couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong. Not fear, not danger, emptiness. A message had been received an hour ago. A signal faint, broken, and old. TALOS processed it, slowed it down, cleaned the static. Then it played it back. It was a voice, but not alien, not human. A woman's voice, cracked with age. This is Vessel 7. We tried to warn you. It's not dead. It just moved. Then silence. No ship matched that name. No mission records showed a Vessel 7. Not on Earth, not in Silent Line, not even in Black Archives. Rika called Admiral Halvers. We got a ghost signal, from something human. He stared at the data, read it again. That can't be right. Rika frowned. I think it's a survivor. From the Judgment ship, she shook her head. No. This signal is decades old. They dug deeper and found something strange. A record erased long ago. A mission called Project Ash's date. 76 years before Silent Line was built. Mission goal. First contact beyond mapped space. Ship name, Vessel 7. Status, lost. Crew, classified, but hidden deep in the file's code. One thing wasn't erased. A final message. We found something older than stars. It speaks in dreams. It remembers. War. It wears gods' skin. Admiral Halvers read it in silence, then spoke, slowly. The hollow god wasn't alone. Rika nodded. We killed a body, not the mind. Across the solar system, the awakening fleet powered down. Ships returned to deep orbit. Wolves scattered back into the dark. Obsidian Station went back to shadow dash mode, and Earth began to celebrate. Humans danced in the streets. Children laughed. News reports called it the war that never happened. People thought it was over, because they never saw the cost. They never saw the crew who vanished. They never saw Judgment disappear into the black. But in the blackest part of the void, something else was waking. A signal, not human, not machine, something. In between that, it replayed the voices of those it consumed. It learned from them. Copied them, spoke through them. The hollow god was not a name, it was a warning label the stars had long forgotten, and now the signal was moving not toward Earth, but away, broadcasting a new message. In perfect human English. There are more like you. They sleep. We will wake them. The others must know. Humans are not prey. Rika sat on the deck of her private cabin, staring at Saturn's rings. Talos appeared beside her. You did it, the AI said. She didn't answer. Victory was achieved still. She said nothing. Then finally, it's not over. You feel it, don't you? Talos glowed brighter for a second. Yes, I do. She stood up. Tell the council I'm resigning. Commander, I'm going off. The grid. Talos processed for 0.2 seconds. Destination, where the signal came from. She turned. Her face was calm. If someone sent a warning, I want to know who they were, and why they thought we'd lose. 1 year later, a small black ship slipped out of human space. It carried no crew. Just Commander Rika Voss, and a simple mission. Follow the old signal. Find Vessel 7. Uncover the truth. Somewhere in the cold dark, another mind watched her ship. It didn't speak. It didn't stop her. It was curious, because for the first time in a long, long time, something had scared it, and that something was human.